Hello, Game of Thrones fans. Welcome to our spoiler review of the second episode of the House of the Dragon. And this is a very interesting episode in the sense that now we get a little bit more of the main conflict. And I think the main conflict starts to be between two parties. That's already been clear in the last episode. It's between the current king and between his brother. But there are other parties starting to be involved in this.
Yeah, at the beginning we saw that interesting scene of crabs eating those people, and I was thinking what kind of battle was there? I believe we haven't seen anything about it. We just saw those, wounded people eaten by crabs.
We heard about it because
Yeah.
this is the steppes and there are pirates attacking, and now the first time we see the crab eater. So the fallen warriors are eaten by crabs, or the wounded are eaten by crabs. So this was the image, and this is also how the episode ends. So we see some kind of monster guy at the very end, but maybe we should start at the beginning.
Yeah, but I mean that's
or go back to the beginning. Yes,
that seems to be the conflict that triggers a lot of events.
Oh yeah, so
question...
Lord Corlys is very concerned that the pirates are being fought because they threaten his power and his land and his influence, and the king so far wouldn't do it.
And his influence is already a vulnerable point. I mean, we've learned something more about him. Last time we speculated, is he like a proper Targaryen? Because he has like the blonde hair and stuff, but he also has a different skin color than all the Targaryens we've met so far. And we now know he is, but he's not a Targaryen. He's somebody who comes from the blood of Valyria.
And he has also Targaryen blood, yes.
Yeah, he has also
both.
Both, but his family does not come from a tradition of dragon riders, so that is a severe disadvantage. Even though he considers his lineage actually to be more connected to old Valyria, so that's kind of a bit of a conflict. Also, to be quite honest, it's kind of weird. To me, I don't know how you guys felt about this, but I could this kind of race of the blonde people. I mean, even though it's cliche, and then in the books they're actually they're violet eyes and stuff like this. This kind of makes sense. So he's kind of, is he like a blend of something else, or is this just kind of the same woke thing? Like, okay, yes, we need to have every race represented, even in an ancient mythical race or something like that. To be quite honest, without an explanation, in our times, I have to say, it feels woke, and as such, it feels fake. Like, you know, not for the story reason, but for I don't know.
I guess so far we haven't heard an explanation in the series itself. Maybe it's in the books, but it could be that the Valyrians had different people of color in their peoples. So we cannot be sure now, I guess.
But they all have still the same blonde hair.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you know, it's kind of weird. You know, why is that not going away, or at least mixing in some form? You know, is that such a dominant trait? I don't know, because I mean, we already know from Game of Thrones that Jon had he was from old Valyria, but he was having black hair.
But so, what I noticed that when the daughter of Lord Corlys and his wife, the queen that never was, when I looked at her, I had the impression that she wears like a wig, because there's this blonde hair, blonde locks, and there's black a black color at the beginning of the hair. And so I have no idea if does it have a meaning, or is it something like natural? So
or maybe just bad
bad mask.
bad mask. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But of course, yeah, I mean, it feels like, I mean, of course, there's an unnatural element to it, and it's a fantasy series. And as I said, something that didn't go along with that was actually in the books was the violet eyes, which I think they could have easily incorporated, but maybe that would have looked too weird in a live picture. But yeah, it's kind of just like a small concern. Other than that, the series didn't have a lot of woke elements so far, apart from the, you know, I wouldn't call this woke, but I think they're kind of copying a Daenerys kind of figure more and more, you know, like the leader woman with Targaryen blood, who's a dragon rider. So we get like a second Daenerys. I still get this feeling a lot.
And we also had a wonderful scene in this episode with her.
I mean, they're doing it well. They're doing it well. Let's be honest about this. I think
Absolutely.
they do present her really, really powerful, even though I wasn't quite sure why Daemon gave up so easily. Because, I mean, didn't he have like the way bigger dragon? It looked like, didn't it? You know, like his dragon was like way bigger. So
apparently he wasn't opting for a fight, but he has the goal to become king. And so he surprised his lady Mysaria by announcing to her that they would marry the next day, so she didn't know. And also he gets told by her that she has made herself so that she cannot give birth to children. So this was a surprise for him as well, I guess. So I guess he avoided fighting because of two reasons. First, he wants to become king in a more or less proper, where proper is not, it's too late, but he wants to become king without this fight, and he didn't want to kill or to fight
kind of weird, because he doesn't strike me as a person who shies away from a fight, but he did shy away. So he's kind of like,
he's got plans.
Yeah, but
I don't think he would shy away from fighting, but he has other plans.
But
so,
he's also,
Rhaenyra,
I think he's a bit of a bully. I mean, it's like, you know, he does get scared if somebody is really better, or if he thinks it's going to be a tough opponent. And we were reminded of the fight he had with this, what was he called? Sir Kristen Cole or something like this.
Yeah.
Also,
right.
Hey, well, what kind of name is that? I mean, in a fantasy series where there's no Christianity, somebody's called Kristen. I don't know. Does that make sense? I don't
Whatever know. He lost against him, and so yeah, you're right. But then again, being a bully, yeah, he threw the egg, the dragon's egg, which is precious. He just threw it away. So
yeah, also
in a manner of it's not important to me. You can have it.
He's very disrespectful.
Yeah, of course.
He's very disrespectful.
He's a bad loser. He's a bad loser. We found that in episode 1 already. So he has to give up the egg and then pretends it's not worth anything anyway.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he has to, but we see he's both.
He decided.
He's somebody who takes great risks on the one side, but he's also a bit of a coward on the other hand. So it's kind of like weird. First of all, I had him as like a classical warrior archetype, but now he shows more coward attitudes as well, which brings us more to the trickster, perhaps, or to like, I don't know. This is not yet. I can't yet say for sure what exactly kind of a quality he brings.
Well, we see it. Also, he cannot confront Rhaenyra because he vowed for no, he didn't. But everyone else considers her as heir, and so attacking her is high treason. One more high
It
treason.
would be high treason, yes, but she shied away from it.
Mm.
And I don't know, does he have some morals, that he does have a code of honor, just not wanting to kill her? Or I don't know, is he secretly in love with her? I don't know. I mean,
Well, we
was-
don't know whether he has got anything to do with the pirates or anything else. And he has friends, he has plans. So at the end, we
mean,
see Lord Corlys.
he is now going to have something to do with with Lord Corlys.
Yes.
What the connection to the pirates is, we don't really know, but there seems to be another power that we don't yet know a lot about, who funds, it's the Free Cities. They fund these pirates in some way. And King Viserys seems to be a very careful person. But at the same time, another front, he's not so careful. I mean, he does not want to marry a 12-year-old who is just forced into this marriage. He's much more into marrying what's she gonna be, like 16? I don't know. Year old.
Lady Alicent.
Yeah, who
I guess
he didn't ask,
I guess he's very fond of her, but she's very unhappy with it, because her relationship or friendship to Rhaenyra is at stake here, and she doesn't want to lose this. So this was my impression.
Yeah, it put her a little bit on the spot. On the other hand, that's kind of what she was kind of working towards, or wasn't she?
Because her father told her so.
Yeah.
So she asked him, "Do you want me to go to the king, to see the king?" And he says, no, he asks, no, the other way around. He asks her if she wants to go, and she says, "Yeah, if you wish that I go there, I will." And she's biting her nails, so it's bloody. She's got bloody fingers.
So
it seems to me that everyone plays some sort of game here. So every single member of the Tower Court, I don't know how it is called, wants, how is it called? The Otto Hightower wants to set. How is she called? I forgot her name.
Alicent.
Alicent inside, and the other guy, the Lord Corlys Valerian, wants his daughter. So everyone wants his part of the cake, so to say. I don't know if it's
and to be quite honest, I mean, what would be the situation? I mean, given that the king is ill and his wounds fester, nobody yet knows this. But another question would be, if he has to wait for, I mean, until this other girl is 14, that would be another 2 years. Will he live another 2 years if his wounds progress the way they do? So would he even become a father through her, and would he have an heir through her? Or maybe the whole thing is a little more urgent.
Yes.
If he wants even just thinking from a practical perspective, is that even a real option? I mean, he may not have told his more or less enemies or opponents, Lord Corlys or contestant, I don't know what he is. He may not have told him about this disease, but it doesn't look good.
Indeed. So this was my thoughts as well, because it was so stupid to choose Alicent, but if he wants to have an heir quite soon, it's first choice.
Yeah. I'm not even sure what the difference would be. I mean, if his heir is like 2 years old and then he dies, who will reign? Will it be okay for his daughter to reign until the heir comes of age, or how does that work?
There would be a queen. There would be a queen, and her family would see to it that the infant can grow up or is killed if there are any other plans. This is the usual stuff.
We don't know that. Yeah,
we don't know.
I mean,
that.
of course, Hightower might be intelligent enough to use the power, but would that really have the stability it needs? Because it would also not be Valyrian blood, so I don't know how that affects it.
We also see that Daemon is also has also trouble because he cannot provide an heir with his lady Viserys. So that'll be interesting. What will he do about it? And the poor lady Mysaria, she wanted, so we saw this in episode 1, she wanted help to free herself from fear. And I guess I guess Daemon is the wrong person to provide for that, and we'll see what happens.
He's a bit of a coward, but he's also dangerous.
Yes.
So
it's also Lord Corlys. They are both people who do not play in the open. So
yeah, but with Daemon, I find him difficult to get, to be honest, because on the one hand, he does things that are so confrontative. Of course, some of the confrontative things he did, he probably didn't ever mean to come to the open. So he has this kind of character of somebody who is happy to confront if it's if nobody sees it, you know. But he's not really truly courageous. At least that's what it seemed like. But also he's quite daring. I mean, he didn't secretly steal the egg, you know, and then, you know, just to have the egg, you know, he did leave a paper note basically looking for a fight. So it's kind of both. It's kind of weird. And so far it doesn't make sense yet to me.
He wants attention, I guess.
Yeah, I also believe he wants attention.
Drama.
Yeah, but maybe he does want just attention, but I mean, does that serve? He strikes me as more intelligent than just to do stupid things to get attention. But on the other hand, maybe he's not.
Well, if we consider that he sits at Dragonstone, and Rhaenyra was named Princess of Dragonstone, and it's the family castle, and he occupies it in a way. So he wants to make things happen, probably test how far he can go further.
Yes, I think that's what he's probably going to do. That's very provocative. But then on the other hand, he doesn't want to provoke too much. So it's like in between, I guess. Maybe that's just what it is, you know. He's a little bit provocative, but not too much. We'll find out. And
so maybe he's improvising. Maybe he's very spontaneous or too spontaneous.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will see in the next series. So I believe at the end we saw Corlys Velaryon and Viserys Targaryen that they cooperate in some way at the end.
They're starting to make a pact, yeah. Because they're both unhappy with the king. So one wants to become the king. Actually, they both kind of want to become the king, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know how far that will go. But they're pretty sure that they don't want the current king.
Corlys wants his help, I guess, because he does not want to lose his power, his land. And this is threatened by the pirates. And Daemon, I guess he has no idea what his next move will be, because he surprised Lady Mysaria with a wedding, and she surprised him with the knowledge that she cannot give birth. So
yeah, a lot of surprises here.
Yeah.
And we don't know how that's going to go on, but of course that's part of the thrill. What are your final thoughts?
Um, my final thoughts would be, what's all about that crab guy who also looked like almost a crab? So,
The crab feeder.
yeah, the crab feeder
Yeah,
also looked
yeah.
like the crab.
I was wondering if this is some kind of like, because we've seen these half-eaten but still living sort of people. I wondered if this is like a new form of zombies that we are going to encounter, or is this just somebody who tortures using crabs? I don't know. Both is possible.
We'll
So
find
far
out.
it seems, yeah, we find out. So far it seems he's only torturing people, but
It is possible.
we'll see.
So that's something to find out. We have to find out about the free cities. What's with that? And especially we have to find out how this conflict and the potential illness of the king plays out. But here's one more thing that I just want to mention. I think, watching this episode, I felt sometimes it was really a little bit slow. Did you have the same impression? Like, for a little bit, no, not so much is happening. Then
Yeah.
at the end, it got a little more speed, but at the beginning, it was more like atmospheric, and you kind of go like, okay, whatever. Did you feel the same?
Yeah, it was some sort of storytelling at the first. We saw everything around and not too much action compared to the first episode.
Yeah.
It was a bit about knowledge, I guess, yes. So explaining the world.
But also in those scenes, I didn't feel we got too much information. It was more.
I guess there was some information. For instance, the relationship between Alicent and Rhaenyra. So we found they are very close friends, and Alicent is in a conflict that was clearly to be seen because, well, let's face it, they are friends and they trust each other, and she tries to marry her father behind her back. So this is weird, isn't it?
Yeah. It is in a way. I mean, yes. If you want to put it like this, of course, everything conveys some information, but it wasn't like information packed. That's what I meant. It wasn't like we learned a lot, despite the fact this was just like less things happening per time.
I guess the characters were colored a bit, so that we will.
They could also be colored through action. If we would see them in bold action, we would know, or not so bold action. We would know what kind of person they are like. But it was more like atmospheric, scenic.
Where there were some small things like this figure that fell down and from this.
But again, that's like slow, symbolic. You get a bit of an idea.
It is, and
it's like, and I'm not saying this is always bad. I'm just saying it was certainly slower than most of the Game of Thrones episodes that I remember, and like slower than the last one.
Yeah.
Last House of the Dragon episode.
Yeah, certainly.
Okay, so let's see if it speeds up again a little bit, and what the next bold move will be. Because I think there will be more provocation. A plan is developing. And what we will develop is we'll try to get a better understanding of those characters, and probably after a few more episodes, we'll try to characterize what archetypal principles we find here, and what character and personality aspects we find here. So I guess stay with us, subscribe and like if you haven't done it, and we're looking forward to see you in the next episode.
And to read your comments.
Yes, tell us our thoughts. What did you find important? What did we miss?
We'll be glad to read your comments and see you in the next episode.
Okay, thank you, and bye for now.
Bye.